It's early in the morning in the village of New Abbey, just south of Dumfries. Solway stalker Colin Lockerbie has a client, Gary, who wants a roebuck.
Roebucks today, Charlie. We've got to have a look over a wee clear fell. It's been cut recently, got to be replanted later this year, so we'll see how we can do that. We spotted a couple of roebucks there recently, so hopefully they'll be about.
Colin offers deer and wild boar stalking across 20,000 acres of southern Scotland. He is one of the most respected stalkers in Scotland and a Zeiss professional hunter to boot. We check out clear-felled plantations and we go for a walk along the beach. The estuary of the River Nith is big, flat, and its creeks provide food for deer in the early morning. As we walk along, we put one up. Were we making too much noise? Was the animal lucky? It sure was.
I just heard the movement on the bank there and I saw it run off about 5 or 10 seconds later. It was a doe just run off into the foreshore.
We enter a small bluebell wood and there is a buck. But there is no way Gary is going to risk firing around through this kind of thick cover.
I tried to put the crosshair just onto his neck, but just couldn't take the shot. Bullet goes through that brush, it would just deflect off and more chance of doing a bit of damage to him rather than dropping it plain, so better to walk away.
As the day warms up, so do the arguments about whether or not we were making too much noise. Colin's boots have been making a squelching, squeaking sound. My cheap Dunlops have been badly clumpy, and Gary's boots look far too shabby to be silent. Well, one of the issues about this morning's stalk was the squeak in our boots, and we've been complaining to each other about that, so we thought we'd do a little test. I'll take the Fieldsports Channel microphone here and I'll attach it to each of our boots and you can tell which one you think is the squeakiest. In the end, I am disqualified for tiptoeing. Colin bows out because his boots are wet on the inside, so Gary is declared Mr. Cat-like Tread 2012. He admits that part of the reason his boots are so supple and silent is that they are made of kangaroo skin. Now, Colin is not just a deer stalker. He has a small but growing population of wild or feral boar in his area.
This is wild boar being written about here. That was in October last year.
October, that's 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's still torn up.
Yeah, it's difficult land for the farmer to repair, so it'll probably have to stay like that.
Now you do wild boar shooting here, don't you?
Yeah.
But you also feed them?
Yeah, feed them to the high seats, yeah.
So you're trying to contain them in one area? How does that work?
Yeah, just try to keep the farmers happy, really. We draw them to an area just over here, maybe have a high seat set up over there. We haven't actually shot any on this area here, so I would expect to see them back again probably same time next year after they've eaten acorns again.
So they eat acorns and come and root up fields?
Come and root up the fields for a bit of meat in their diet as well after they've eaten a lot of acorns. Yeah.
Typical drunk Scotsman then?
Yeah.
1 in 3 of Colin's boar outings succeeded last year. Boar shot ranged from 30 kilograms to these monsters of 140 kilograms.
Just put the seat up here a couple of weeks ago. The pigs have found the food pretty quickly. They're feeding they're here every night. I put food out just 2 nights, every second night just now.
And when are you going to shoot them?
We won't shoot here now until October. There's a big sow feeding here with youngsters now, so we'll leave them alone for the summer.
There's not much about Solway fish and game that Colin doesn't know or cannot provide. The Nith nearly scored Britain's biggest rod-caught salmon when a monster weighing around 100 pounds fought and beat a bishop in the 19th century. It was later caught in nets with the bishop's fly still in its mouth. Colin cannot boast a fish that big in his lifetime, but he is a master of the old Viking practice of half-netting. How do you know you've got a fish?
Well, when the water's racing through the net here, you hold the net in your thumb. The net's quite tight here, and you just feel the tug on your finger. And then you lift, and the fish will be back in the net here.
Now, how do you get it out of that?
Yeah, it's again very simple. You catch the net and throw it over into the net, so it's double netted then, hanging over here. and we carry a priest in our bag just to kill the fish, throw it back over and lift it out. It's very, very easy once you've done one or two.
Now, is this what you call commercial netting?
No, it's more or less just a hobby now. There's not the number of fish there used to be a few years back, so it's really just a hobby.
And you're not going to take me out now because they're not running at the moment?
They're not running and it's too cold in the water to stay there very long just now anyway.
There are other ways to catch fish around here. Colin takes us to see Peter Hutchison, who has bigger nets on the Solway.
These are our salmon stake nets. They call them fixed engine fishery nets. They're an old style of fishing along the Solway coast here for salmon, but they've been on the go here in the Solway for well over 200 years. There are not many left now. A lot of the fisheries are gone, but we still enjoy these ones here.
And you catch all sorts in here as well as salmon, don't you?
We get a range of fish that go from taupe. Taupe are typically our largest fish, right down through to shad, which are of the herring family. They are currently taking into research projects Solway wide at the moment, so we give them to Galloway Fishery Trust. But salmon, sea trout, that's the main issue for us. We get some lovely turbot now and again, and a few other things. So, yeah, the variety is always fun.
Now the day is growing cool once again, and Colin and Gary still have an appointment with a buck. Colin takes us to a new plantation which has been suffering road damage recently. All thoughts of the long walks and missed opportunities from earlier in the day fly away because there is Gary's animal.
They wanted these animals culled on this particular plantation, young plantation. There wasn't a lot of option on shot placement. The only option I really had there was neck shot, which is normally the cleanest shot. Animal drops clean.
And it did.
And he did.
You've got an enormous variety of ground here. You've got a bit of hill, you've got shoreline, you've got all sorts, haven't you?
Yeah, good mixture of everything, yeah. Which helps depending on the weather. If the weather's not suiting to be out in the hill, usually you can find something in the mature trees or in the young stuff.
And a plantation like the one that's, you can't see it, but it's behind these trees here. Is that what you call a bag filler? I mean, is this where you come when you...
Yeah, pretty much a banker, yeah. There's always got to be something about in a place like this, yeah.
And indeed there was.
Yeah.
Colin charges £70 per roebuck outing, plus shot fee and trophy fee. You can take days off him, and he runs an 8-strong syndicate for deer, boar, grouse on the hill and Solway duck and geese. Email solwaystalker@aol.co.uk.